In the darkest chapter of human history, one man discovered the brightest light. His name was Viktor, a psychiatrist born into a world full of questions. Vienna, 1905. His story began in the heart of Europe, a city of culture and intellectual ferment. His father was a civil servant, his mother a deeply religious woman who instilled spiritual values in her son. Young Viktor was filled with questions about the meaning of the world and humanity's purpose. He read constantly, he thought deeply. He questioned everything about existence and meaning. Born in a Jewish family, yet his understanding of faith transcended religious boundaries with Christian compassion. As a youth, he began contemplating the mystery of death and whether life had meaning even in the face of mortality. Why do people continue to live until they die? That single question launched his lifelong pursuit of truth about human meaning. He entered medical school and chose psychiatry, determined to understand the human mind and spirit. In the 1920s, Vienna was the cultural center of Europe, where Freud and Adler shaped psychological thought. Young Viktor studied their theories but sought his own unique path beyond their frameworks. He believed that the search for meaning was humanity's deepest and most fundamental motivation. This was different from Freud's pleasure principle or Adler's will to power. Viktor was certain that the search for meaning moved human beings. In the 1930s, darkness descended across Europe. The Nazis gained power and anti-Semitism spread like poison through Austria. Viktor began experiencing discrimination because he was Jewish. Yet he continued his work with undiminished dedication, caring for patients and teaching students despite the growing dangers. In 1938, the Nazis annexed Austria. Vienna was gripped with terror and uncertainty. Viktor's medical practice became increasingly restricted. Jewish physicians could only treat Jewish patients under Nazi race laws. In 1941, he was forcibly assigned as a physician to a detention camp, where he witnessed Nazi euthanasia programs targeting the disabled and mentally ill. His conscience was torn between impossible choices: obey evil orders or resist and risk death. He secretly falsified medical records to protect vulnerable patients from harm, maintaining his medical ethics even amid constant mortal danger. In April 1944, he and his family were arrested by the Gestapo. The Nazis transported the family to the Theresienstadt ghetto. Theresienstadt transformed an entire town into a ghetto prison. Hundreds of thousands crammed into impossible spaces. Hunger, disease, and endless death surrounded them every moment of every day. Viktor was registered as a physician and cared for typhus patients, sleeping almost never, constantly moving between the dying. Yet he viewed this nightmare as a profound laboratory of human nature. How do humans behave when faced with absolute despair? What happens when people lose all sense of meaning? He carefully observed everything with scientific precision. Some surrendered to despair and died. Others maintained dignity and grace, even in the worst circumstances imaginable. Viktor discerned a crucial pattern. Those who believed their lives had meaning survived longer than those who had surrendered all hope. They did not fight merely to survive. Instead, they fought for something beyond themselves, for unfinished work, for loved ones, for faith itself. In autumn 1944, Viktor was transported to Auschwitz, the very heart of absolute evil itself. He became prisoner number 119104. His name was erased. Only a number remained. On his first night, he believed he would be sent to the gas chambers. By chance, he was assigned to a labor detail instead. He hauled rocks and laid railway tracks under brutal conditions: extreme cold, starvation, and constant violence from guards. Hundreds died every single day. How could Viktor possibly find meaning in this absolute nightmare? He thought of his mother, not knowing if she was still alive, reaching across the separation with love. His wife had vanished. His sister was somewhere in this hell. His family was scattered and likely dead. Yet he decided to live. He would survive to give lectures about his discoveries. He would bear witness to the world about what he was witnessing, to share his message with others who had lost meaning in their lives. He moved his mind outside the barbed wire fences. He imagined himself lecturing in a great auditorium. He saw himself as a healer of wounded souls in a rebuilt world. That vision kept him alive. As one of the selected camp physicians, he again cared for prisoners, maintaining his medical ethics in the heart of evil. He treated wounds and brought comfort when he could. And he spoke constantly to despairing men. Your life still has meaning, even here, even now. In January 1945, Soviet forces approached. The Nazis evacuated the camps and forced the prisoners on a death march through the frozen winter. It was bitter cold, starvation and death on every side. Countless prisoners collapsed and died. Viktor nearly died on that march. Yet he did not forget his vision. The thought of delivering his lectures sustained him through those final horrors. On April 27, 1945, he was liberated by Soviet forces. Physically free, yet his spirit remained imprisoned. He discovered the terrible truth about his family. His beloved wife had died at Auschwitz, his mother at Treblinka, his brother in another camp. He had lost absolutely everything, yet he chose to live. He returned to Vienna, but the Vienna he knew was gone. He refused to let his suffering become meaningless. He made a conscious choice. His suffering would not destroy him. Instead, it would become a bridge to help others. In just 9 days, he wrote the manuscript for what would become a world-changing book. The book was not merely memoir. It was a systematic analysis of how human spirit survives and finds meaning amid absolute horror. Published in 1946, Man's Search for Meaning became a global bestseller. Millions read his words and found hope. They discovered that meaning could be found even in their own struggles. He developed logotherapy further, the revolutionary idea that the search for meaning is central to mental health. He traveled the world sharing his message of meaning, hope, and human dignity. Everywhere he spoke the same message. Meaning can always be found, even in the darkest circumstances. In death's presence, in suffering itself, we find freedom through meaning. In 1947, he remarried. His new wife, Eleanor, supported him and shared his life's mission. He built a new family. Though he had lost so much, life continued with new meaning and love. He became professor of psychiatry at Vienna Medical University and began teaching a new generation. In 1959, the English edition was published in America and became a global phenomenon. He continued writing prolifically, authoring over 30 books developing his philosophy of meaning. Every book centered on the same theme: meaning, freedom, and human dignity in the face of suffering. In the 1960s, a generation of young people searching for meaning discovered his work. Young people searching for purpose found in his words a path to authentic meaning beyond materialism. They refused conformity and sought their own authentic path. Viktor understood their search for meaning. He said that the search for meaning transcends all generations. In 1967, a special edition of his masterwork was published, introducing it to new millions. Millions of copies sold in America alone. It climbed bestseller lists decade after decade. He became recognized as a leading international voice in psychology and psychiatry. His school of thought was formally recognized. Logotherapy became the third major psychological movement after Freud and Adler. Logotherapy took its place alongside history's greatest psychological schools. He continued writing and teaching into his later years, never slowing his mission. Yet his activities never diminished. He traveled worldwide sharing his message of meaning and hope. In 1982, he fell ill with pneumonia. Doctors said he would not recover. But Viktor recovered. He was determined to continue his work. He still had meaning to share. In 1997, at age 92, he was still active. He was still writing, still teaching, still sharing his message. His message never changed, but grew ever deeper with the weight of his lifetime of experience. August 2nd, 1997. Viktor Frankl peacefully passed away, leaving behind a legacy that would change the world. His funeral in Vienna was attended by thousands from around the world. Memorial services were held worldwide. Everyone remembered the same man. A physician who found light in despair. A witness who discovered meaning even in the camps. His books continue to be read. Today, someone discovers hope in his words. Today, someone opens his book searching for meaning in their own life struggle. His story is not merely a psychological theory. It is the most devastating yet most beautiful testimony to human resilience ever recorded. Even now, his question continues to echo in our hearts. What is the meaning of your life? His story reminds us, we are more resilient than we know. We are capable of more than we imagine. And in the darkest night, there is always light. Not from without, but burning within ourselves, waiting to be discovered. This is Viktor Frankl's eternal message. This is his gift to humanity. When life asks us the hardest questions, we now know where to find our answers. In the search for meaning itself, in love, in purpose, in the freedom we always possessed to choose our response, in the light that lives within.